When I was younger, I didn't always like my hair. I think I found it hard to manage. I found it hard to understand.
I did like my hair when I was little because when I came out, I had hair right from the start.
I had loads of hair, so I did like my hair very much. Had loads of it.
I didn't like my hair growing up. I wanted to dye it blonde. I can remember standing in the bathroom and just thinking, God, I really want to dye my hair blonde. And I must have been about 8. I was a bit frustrated by the fact that I could never wear my hair out because it would just get tangled.
One time I was at that age where, like, you know, you start kind of doing your own hair, but then you're like, you've only just started, so you don't really understand how to do it. So I had like this bottle, and it was like this spray, it was like detangler from, like, you know, the black hair shop. And I was like trying to like plait my hair to go to bed. And it was really, really like knotty, like so knotty. And so I was getting really frustrated and I was really upset. And I like took the lid off and I poured the whole bottle over my head, like completely drenched my head. I just sat in my bed like crying. And like, my mom came in, she's like, Amy, like, why are you crying? And I was just like, it says detangle, but it's not detangling anything. I was like, I want to just cut all my hair off. And then I think not long after that, I cut my hair, like quite short, and it didn't really grow back much longer since. But I really struggled with it. I found it so hard to understand. I found it really like painful getting my hair done and stuff. So yeah, I had a very love-hate relationship with my hair.
Where I grew up was in South America, so my school was mainly white, Latino. So I was quite minority there.
My first primary school that I went to, it was majoritarily Asian. So a lot of people from like the part of Asia, like India and Pakistan, they were very like similar to me but not. So it was really weird because I felt like I was like in with them, but then like it's a whole different culture. Like we just had the same skin tone, but we didn't have the same hair, we didn't have the same culture and upbringing. So that school I actually ended up leaving for like multiple different reasons, and then the primary school and secondary school that I went to after that was quite mixed, like they were both quite diverse.
In primary school, I was one of few people of colour, and in secondary school there were a lot more people of colour, but the majority was still white.
Yes, it was predominantly white school, and I was the only black girl in my class.
I had comments, it's like, sometimes people would say, oh, you have a long wire hair, or your hair is not soft like mine, or your hair is not long like mine, so that sort of thing. But yeah, sometimes you feel a little bit upset, but yeah, just at the time, yeah.
People wanted to touch my hair to see what it felt like, and I remember not wanting people to do that, you know. When I started wearing weaves, they say, oh, that looks nice, is it your own hair? And then they want to know how long it did, how much it cost, how you do that, you know.
So I remember there was this one day, I think I was in year 5. What happened? I think I just decided that I wanted to go to school with my hair out, because I think at this point I still had quite long hair, and I was just like, I want to try something new. So before I used to scrape my hair back and I'd have it in a ponytail with like a headband. That was my go-to style. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear my hair out. I'm like mature now because I'm in year 5. And yeah, I just remember being on the playground at lunch and like a bunch of kids, like they were in the younger year who I was like friends with, like, you know, just like those younger kind of boys that you kind of know but you're not like besties with. I remember they were like teasing me, and they were like saying that like I had really frizzy hair, and they were saying like, they're like, oh, your hair looks so big, and like for some reason it was just a bad thing. Like I couldn't get my head around it. Like everyone all day was like, your hair's so big, but it was never in a good way. And I felt so insecure, and I was in class and I remember like a few people making comments like, I can't even see the board, her hair's too big and stuff like that. Like it really like damaged me. So like since then I like didn't wear my hair out in primary school. I think I wore it out like one other time in like year 6, but I couldn't do it.
Growing up, I wasn't surrounded by that much positive representation. I found that a lot of the people on TV, a lot of the people in magazines or children's magazines and things were always white, so didn't really have representation of my hair. I suppose the only person really would have been Mel B from Spice Girls.
The closest thing I can remember to like seeing someone with like hair like me was Tracy Beaker, and like like, you know what I mean, that's like barely so I feel like no, I didn't have much representation of like people with similar like curl patterns to mine, like at all. I didn't really see it in magazines. All the magazines like when I was younger were like Pop Girl and stuff, and they just didn't have much variation in anything.
At the time, not really, because a lot of the models used to wear lots of weed, and a lot of people that were on TV, there's a few black people that were on TV, they always have weeds. But I always liked those ones who had the afro hair. I always felt very connected to that. There's quite a few artists. I think this one called Cece Chaka Khan, she used to wear like big hair out. Yes, Diana Ross, we weren't sure whether it was a natural hair. She had a big hair, but it was just like a soft afro hair as well. So yes, but the majority of the time, the influence was just wearing straight hair, relaxed hair, perm hair.
I can definitely say I wasn't surrounded with positive representation when I was growing up. There wasn't anybody else around me. If there was, they were on the television. You would see people abroad, but my hair was different, wiry, difficult, hard to tame.
I think that when people are made to feel that what they grow from their own head is somehow not good enough, there's something really, really, really fundamentally wrong about that. I think that had I seen more representation in the media and in the people around me, I probably would have stopped relaxing my hair a lot sooner. I do think that that representation is so important, and I think representation of different kinds of afro hair as well, because I think that the kinds of hair, afro hair that I see is usually like mixed race people that have finer hair and their curl pattern is a bit more even. And also I don't really think that I see much hair that is tighter than that. I think that there's like this ongoing theme throughout the media of showing a mixed race person or a mixed race family, and somehow that ticks the box for diversity. But I think that you need to show people of all different kinds, and within the context of hair, I think that you can't just show mixed race hair. Has to be for everyone.
It's important for the younger generation growing up, because I would have liked someone when I was younger to say, oh yeah, she does her hair like that and you can do it like this and you can do it like that. Oh, that's really good. Instead of feeling out of place and not as though I fitted in.
I think positive representation of like biracial hair types and like people of colour's hair types is really important, because if you are seeing someone who has the same hair as you, it just, I can't even describe it. It's like if you see someone that looks like you on TV or in a magazine, like it gives you a sense of like, wow, like I can do this as well. Like this person's like on the front cover of a magazine, like I can, like I look like her. Like it gives you like a really good feeling, and I think it stops unrealistic expectations, because like in TV and stuff like that, like all the women would have like straight hair or like glossy like hair, and they were like the ones who were desirable. So I think having more representation of different hair types on all platforms, it stops people thinking that because someone who has different hair type than them is like seen as pretty in like a TV show, that they don't feel like they're not pretty because they don't have that same quality, if that makes sense.
I think it's important to have that representation, yes. I think it needs to be embraced, it needs to be in a way kind of voiced out. I think a lot of actresses, you know, singers, musicians, they seem to give on to all this wavy blonde hair, which is not our hair, and I think that just made a bad impact and a bad image into young children. And there just need to be more representation. There's few people coming out that want to be natural, short hair, crops, things like that, which is nice. But I think in the models, TV, you know, people in TV, in the media, a lot of people just need to get away. There's a lot of influence on having these straight weaves and show you, you know, the new latest style, that looks natural, but that's not natural, that's not you. You can never be that person because it's not you. And I think, yeah, there needs to be more encouragement, more support, more voice out on just wear your hair natural and care for it.
Well, I don't think it's really important because people have different hair, and then we all can't have the same kind. We all have different styles, and that's what makes us unique.
I think I would tell my younger self, don't feel, you know, sad when people tell you your hair is not straight or it's long. I think what I say, just love your hair the way it is. You're unique and you're beautiful.
I definitely tell my younger self, like, don't listen to what people say about your hair, and don't cut it. Cutting my hair was like the worst decision ever. I used to have, my hair was down like past my bum, like it's so nice. So yeah, don't cut your hair, but I'd say, I just tell myself like, your hair is your hair. It doesn't, like everyone has a different hair type. Like I was very confused about my hair because everyone else who had the same kind of heritage as me, like one parent who's white and one parent who's black, had more afro hair. So like I would say to myself, like, don't be confused by that. Like this shouldn't confuse and upset you. It should like inspire and encourage you that like everyone has different types of hair, and if people are going to say something about your hair, like it might be a reflection of how they feel insecure. Like especially little kids insult people when they like them. So I just tell myself like, just embrace who you are and don't compare yourself to other people.
I would tell my younger self about my hair in a positive way. Don't worry about how you look. If you want to wear your hair in plaits, you wear it in plaits. You don't have to be the same as everybody else. If you want to wear it out open, you wear it open. If you want to put beads in it, you put it in beads. If you want to straighten your hair, you straighten your hair. But just be careful when you straighten your hair too much, you know, that it doesn't start breaking and all that sort of thing. But just do what you want, really. Give it a go, have a try. It's your hair. It's your hair. You own it.